It's win or go home time at the Women's World Cup. The U.S. women's national team, they will play a round of 16 match against Sweden on Sunday as they continue their quest to win their third consecutive World Cup title. So joining me to preview the match is Steph Savino. She's the head coach of Morris Elite in the USLW League. She's been giving us great coverage throughout this tournament, and she joins me now. Steph, how's the schedule going? Because there's been a lot of early watching of these U.S. women's matches. How's the sleep balance going for you these days?
I certainly wish I was watching more matches in the evening, but the 3 a.m., 5 a.m., my alarms are ready to go, so it hasn't been a problem.
All right, no problem for Steph. She's been ready to go. She's been watching the matches, so we're going to get right into it. And Steph, the U.S. team, they just completed their worst World Cup group stage ever. For the first time since the tournament began in 1991, the American women won a single game in group play. Has this team lost this swagger? And if they have, what do you think they need to do in order to get it back?
Swagger is the key word in all this. Do I believe they lost it? No, but I believe they've shown us a different side of the swagger that perhaps they haven't shown us in the past. But right now, it's not the side of swagger that we need to see. I think certain areas of the field have positioned us well throughout the group stage matches, and that's our defensive unit. So defensively, swagger is there. They challenge the opponent well. They keep them in front of them. They are earning player recognitions, and that's perhaps a first for us. But I will say that's always been a thing that we've been well deserved of. But where we need to see swagger in its utmost performance is on the attacking side. We need to execute 90 minutes, and we need to find the back of the net. It hasn't been happening that well for us in the past couple of games, but swagger is our DNA. But we need to see the swagger come to life in the final third.
Yeah, need to see that come to life, especially in terms of attacking. And you make a great point about how the defense has been solid, though, throughout this tournament. Now, considering the disappointment, surrounding this team's play in the group stage and that there isn't that much time between their last match, a draw against Portugal, is now the time for tactical adjustments? And is it fair to expect growth from this team since their last match?
Tactical adjustments have been very few and far between in the last few matches for us. And Flacco has not necessarily made changes that we have wanted to see, but I think there's a reason to that. You have the best of the best out there, and they know how to execute a game model in various roles, various positions. So can we do it? Can we make changes? Absolutely. We are losing out on a very strong player for us next match, and that's due to Lavelle receiving a couple of yellow cards throughout her last couple of games, which is really unfortunate. We have players, though, in the back line that have played higher for us up the field. But perhaps this is not something that we're going to see because Flacco needs to be 100% comfortable in the changes that he will execute on game day. Now, I don't see anything wrong with it. Flacco is a patient coach, but where I'm getting a little bit concerned is that in this World Cup, there needs to be changes done before goals are scored against us. So where I've never been a coach on the World Cup stage and not yet, hopefully one day, but eagerness needs to outweigh patience right now, and we can't make changes when it's too late. So how can we beat our opponent in thinking or outsmarting them sooner than they're going to put a ball in the back of the net?
Yeah, you gotta want to make the changes when it's the time for them to do it. You don't want to be reactionary. You want to be on top of the changes in the game there. So we'll see if the U.S. can do that going forward. Now, talking about the opponent, Sweden, they are one of the formidable opponents in this tournament that you've talked to me about. What makes them so dangerous in this round of 16 matchup?
So the U.S. and Sweden have played each other. This will be the seventh time now in the World Cup matches. So I think this is a very historic moment for Women's World Cup, where this is the most meeting against two countries in throughout the World Cup. So this is going to be an awesome game. We know that. This is going to be 90 minutes of unbelievable play by both sides. But where we've seen Sweden become dangerous is in the final third. We know that they can put goals behind. We know that they can put goals in the back of the net. They've scored 9 throughout the group stage matches, so they're not afraid to do so. They progress well through the thirds. Specifically, they break lines along the flanks, so this is an area of strength for them. But where they are most dangerous is their set piece play. And they've executed, or they've had 54 chances in big moments because of set pieces throughout their group stage matches. So we know this is going to be an area of opportunity for them, but it needs to be an area of concern for us.
Yeah, something for the U.S. women to watch in this game is what they can do off of set pieces. And Steph, this is it. It's the #1 ranked U.S. women versus the 3rd ranked Sweden women. What are the keys to the Americans advancing and being one of the last 8 teams standing at the Women's World Cup?
Like I said, it's going to be a good game, and I think there's going to be 90 minutes of fight, 90 minutes of battle out there, shoulder-to-shoulder contacts. They're always going to want to win first and second ball, and that goes for both sides. But the keys to the success will be exactly that: winning first and second ball moments, especially in Sweden's set piece play. The second they regain possession in any opportunity is the second we are beat. Now, speaking of being beat, they are fast on the attack, and the players with the ball offer speed behind the ball as well. So if we are flat, we are beat. And thirdly, we need to make sure that our execution in the final third is sharp. We know we have players that, like Rodman, for example, she loves and plays best when she's facing forward. Horan, she wins the ball in the middle third for us and distributes through balls to our attacking players. Morgan, Smith, love a 1-2 combination to get forward. So we know that there are players out there that can execute in high stakes matches. However, our tactical and technical execution needs to be sharp, and it needs to be at its finest. And the final thing that I'll say, they've been getting a lot of heat, so we as fans need to see the belief that we have in them to win this match. They're 4-time World Cup champions. They can absolutely get the job done.
All right, Steph believing the U.S. women can get the job done against Sweden. That game is going to be an early one on Sunday morning at 5 a.m. Steph is going to be watching, and we're going to be back. Steph will be back with me after that match to recap it and talk about it. Hopefully it's a happy recap, Steph. Appreciate all your insight. Now we will talk then soon.
All right, sounds great. See you tomorrow. Enjoy the match.
Enjoy.